Alright boys, Deus 2. Now we're going to look at the 9-inch coil first here. Beta version 303. We're going to put that little Firecracker coil on here. You know, what you hear in the wild is what you're going to base a lot of your dig decisions on. Alright? And the less time you can waste deciphering to make a dig decision or not, that all adds up, becomes cumulative. I am in the sensitive FT silencer 1. Now, I'm going to show this because you may see this in the wild. We'll leave iron tip off. Alright, so this is a 40 max band. They're going to be the same settings in this machine, okay? So you see what I've got there? You know, that can exist in the wild. You don't know how the nails are going to be positioned. That old nickel in there, you see that? Okay? You hear that behavior? Would you suspect there's a nickel in there sweeping that coil? All that racket. Would you? Now we're going to come over here. Now, I get a 7 in the meter. And I've got iron tit off. So if you come around that, would you dig it? Sure, you know, you have to answer that question. But this way right here, and I've got that same 7 in the meter. Okay? We're going to turn iron tit on, and we'll do the same with that HF2 coil. Now the iron tit is on. So you get to hear that, okay? Now I'm over here. Now I got a 6 in the meter. And you get to hear how it sounds. Sounds better that way than it does this way, don't it? That's not very good there, is it? So you got to hear that call. We're going to turn this camera off. That stuff's not moving, boys. We're going to put the old mighty Firecracker call on here. Okay, boys, we've got the Firecracker coil on here. This is version beta 303. Okay, now this is iron tit off. Same settings, we just changed the frequency. Alright, this is in the highest band. Alright. So you get to hear that. That's a better signal we got with that 9-incher, huh? Iron tit off, I've got an 81 coming in that meter right there. You see it? So you might rotate on that using this call. What about that 9-inch call? What happens when we get over here and rotate? Now listen to this machine. Listen to this audio. You hear that? You didn't hear that with that 9-inch call. Hear how that sounds? That's one of those sounds you would almost bet the whole farm there's a non-ferrous target down there, wouldn't you? Okay, now I'm going to sweep again. The iron tit is off. Now, I never see nothing in that meter. It's a 65, 66 coming both ways. Now iron tit is on. All right, we're still over here. Okay, so now I see 4s and 5s in the meter. But listen to that signal. Listen. You hear that? Yeah, you can tell there's some mask in there. It's polluted, but it sounds a lot better than that 9-inch call over there, okay? So we're over here. All right. Iron tit off. We come back over here. We see 72, 71 on both sweeps, and you get to hear how that sounds. That's got that sound to it, you know, like, oh, that's a no-brainer signal, huh? And a high iron side, you'd be all over that. But this right here might get you to turn and hear a more refreshing signal. That don't sound too good there. It's giving an 81 in the meter, but you hear how it's pecking. Now we'll remove this nail, or nickel, I'm sorry. We're removing the nickel. All right, we're sweeping again here. Now that's a 6.8 disc silencer 1, okay? Notice that 9-inch coil too. When I come back over on this side of these nails over here, we got that wailing sound. You'll hear that in sites using that coil in a while, by the way. That's going to conclude the video. The mighty Deus 2.